Hello and welcome to another video. So today I'm bringing you my November TBR. Now I obviously am going to be co-hosting the Royal Readathon Fairies edition with Liv over at Liv in Magical Bookland, and that is my main readathon I'm doing. Obviously there's no like really limitations on what sort of books I can read as long as they fit the prompts for that one, and for that one I am picking a book for each of the 6 prompts. However, I am also taking part in 2 other readathons in November. One is of course Believathon, which is hosted by Galvin over at How to Train Your Galvin. This is the 3rd instalment, Believathon 3 I believe, and this one is Escape from the Jungle. There are 30 prompts. I kind of want to see if I can fit a book for every 30 prompt, but I'm actually going to just play it by ear and pick some out. So I've got the cards, I printed them off myself, cut them out, and I'm going to shuffle them up and I'm going to pick some out. I haven't decided on the number yet, we'll get to that. Obviously it's middle grade only for Believathon, and I have picked all of my unread middle grade off my shelves, along with a few that I got from the library the other day. I'm going to pick the cards and then I'm going to decide what books I'm going to choose for each of the prompts I pick. And then the third readathon I'm doing is LDRathon, which is a week-long readathon hosted by Chloe over at Chloe Reads Books. So LDRathon is going to be between the 8th and the 14th of November, and I'm going to start with that one. I also am wearing my little paper aeroplane necklace for LDRathon. I am going to start off with LDRathon. So it is a week-long readathon. There are 5 prompts. However, I am only picking 3 books for this, so I am doubling up on a couple of the prompts. So I am using Relentless by Karen Lynch for both FaceTime calls, which is a book recommended by a friend, which Erin actually bought me the first 3 books in this series and highly recommends them, so that fits. And also Airmail, read a book gifted to you. Erin gifted this to me. I have the gift note in here. So yeah, I'm using this book for those 2 prompts. Then for the prompt 3,924 miles, read a book set in a different country, I'll be reading the 14th Morganville book, which is Fall of Night, obviously by Rachel Kane. This is set in Texas, America, so definitely set in a different country. This is the only one on the LDRathon that I am not doubling up. And then I'll be reading The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood for both the Reunion, read a 5-star prediction, and Travel Ban, pick up a comfort read. So I genuinely do think this is going to be a 5-star prediction. I'll be shocked if it isn't a 5-star. And also this was a fan fiction, but it was published traditionally. So fan fictions are comfort reads for me. So that is my justification for this one. But I am so excited. There was no way I was not getting this on my November TBR, and I'm very excited. So that's my LDRathon TBR. I will say a few of these books you're going to see across the different readathons I'm doing. I've tried to match them up. But let's now move on to my readathon, which is the Royal Readathon Fairies edition. So the first prompt is Tink, which is reread a book so the story doesn't die. I will be rereading Fall of Night by Rachel Kane. Obviously 14th book in the Morganville series. I've been buddy reading this series with my mum and my sister. It is their first time reading it, but it is a reread for me, and I remember absolutely loving this one the last time I read it. So I'm rereading it and I'm excited. Next up we have Flora, read a book with a beautiful cover. For this I have picked The Crackle Dawn Dragon by Abby Elphinstone. I adore the covers of this series. This is the Unmapped Chronicles series, and I have adored all of the covers in this series. They are absolutely stunning. They're so colourful, and I'm just so excited to get to this one because I think it's going to be absolutely amazing. Next up we have Fauna, a book with a fixer-upper, and for this I picked The Love Hypothesis by Hazelwood. So this has the fake dating trope, and the reason I think this is going to work for the fixer-upper prompt is because the reason she has a fake boyfriend is because her best friend believes in romantic relationships and she doesn't, And I'm guessing the best friend kind of thinks that you need a romantic relationship to be happy. And instead of her just saying, no, I don't need that, she tries to make her friend happy by, she kisses the first man she sees, and in comes this guy. And I end up having a fake relationship, which obviously is going to turn into a real relationship. But yeah, I do think this will fit for the fixer-upper prompt, because you do not need to be in a romantic relationship to be happy. And that's something everyone needs to learn. So everyone who thinks that are fixer-uppers. So I'm going to stop babbling about this book now, and yeah. Next up, we have Merryweather, Read a Book with a Disagreement. And for this, I've picked Ship of Destiny by Robin Hobb. This is the third book in the Live Ship Traders series, and I'm so excited. I've borrowed this from the library, and I've already set out buddy read pages because I buddy read this with my friend Kelly, but I'm so excited to read this. There has been disagreements in the first 2 books of these, so, and from the way the second one ended, there is definitely going to be disagreements in this, so this is definitely going to fit the prompt. Next up, we have Jeannie, Read a Book with a Found Family. And for this, I'm going to be picking up The Danger Gang by Tom Fletcher. This is a group of friends. So Found Family is this is going to fit the Found Family prompt. But I'm very excited to read this. And can we just appreciate the naked hardcover? It's gorgeous. But this is I was about to say this is the last Tom Fletcher book I need to read, but it is not, because I've just received my pre-order of the 3rd Christmasaurus book. But before that, this was the only book I needed to read by him. But I love his writing, and I'm very excited to read this. It's going to be such a fun and quick read. And finally, for the Royal Readathon, it is Fairy Godmother, Read a Book with a Classic Storyline. So for this, I'm going to read Rameza by Radia Hafiza. So this is basically a retelling of Rapunzel, but it also has a retelling of Sleeping Beauty and also Cinderella in here. So we have 3 retellings, 3 classic storylines. So I'm very excited to read this, and it's middle grade, so you're probably going to see this later on as well. But yeah, I'm very excited to read this, and I think there's really nice illustrations in this as well. But even like just normal pages like that has cute things on. But yeah, so there's that one. Okay, so now for Believathon. I am gonna shuffle the cards. I don't know how I'm going to do this so that I can't see. Okay, right, we're gonna look away. Okay, we're gonna say they're shuffled enough. So, how many shall I pick out? I think I'm gonna pick out, shall I pick out 10? I'm gonna pick out 10. Okay, so the first one is number 12. Read a book with a creature in the title. Oh, already gonna be easy. I will be reading The Crackle Dawn Dragon by Abby Elphinstone. Dragon, creature, easy enough. As I said earlier, because it's on my Royal Readathon TBR as well. Very excited to read this. It's the 3rd book in the Unmapped Chronicles series, and I have adored that series so far. So I have no doubt I'll love this one too. Read something outside your favourite genre. Okay. I have picked Darwin's Dragons by Lindsay Galvin. This is historical fiction, I believe, as it's set in the 1800s. So it's set in 1835. I don't read a lot of historical. It's definitely not my favourite genre, but I'm intrigued to read this. I did enjoy The Secret Deep by this author. I thought it was a really good book. So I'm excited to read this and give it a go. Read a book with a map. Okay. I will be reading The Ship of Shadows by Maria Kuzner. So, just to prove there is a map there. There is a map. I'm very excited to read this. I've heard many, many, many good things about it. So I am looking forward to checking it out myself. Read a book with a 2-word title. I am going to read Dragon Mountain by Katie and Kevin Sang. I've owned this for ages, and well, I pre-ordered this. So I've owned it since it came out, and I'm pretty sure it came out the beginning of lake year. So I'm happy to finally get to this one. Read a scary book. I am going to read Crater Lake by Jennifer Killick. I really wanted to get to this one in October, but I just couldn't get it to fit a prompt. So November it is. And I'm kind of glad that I pulled this prompt, because now it means I get to read this. Read a book that was adapted. I am going to read Finn Family Moomin Troll by Tove Jansson. This is the 3rd book in the Moomin series, and the books originally came out in the 1940s and then they were translated in the 1950s to English. However, the TV show did not come out until the 90s, so it was adapted after the book, or rather it was adapted from the book. Read an Own Voices book. Yes. We have Rameza by Radia Hafiza. I'm very excited to read this, as I said, for Real Readathon. I'm not going to go into it again because I said it all when I did that, but I'm looking forward to reading this. Read a book with a title that starts with the same letter as your name. Yes. I know what I'm going to read for this, I think. This was actually harder than I thought, because there's only actually one book I've got here that starts with a B. And that is Bridge of Souls by Victoria Schrab. This is the 3rd book in the Cassidy Blake series, and I'm very, very excited to read this. But yeah, I'm quite shocked this was the only one I have that starts with a B. I was expecting more, but oh well, at least we had one. I'm very excited to read this and finish the series. Read a book featuring water. I will be reading Eva Evergreen, Semi-Magical Witch by Julia Abe. So this is set in a coastal town, a tranquil coastal town of Ulturi. So coastal town means water. There we go. And finally, continue a series you're already reading. Okay, I'll be reading the 2nd Potkin and Stubbs book by Sophie Green, which is The Haunting of Pelican City. I'm really excited to read this. I loved the first one, and I do own the first one, but I got this one out of the library because I don't own the second one yet, and I really wanted to get this one in, and I'm really glad I've managed to do it with a continuous series prompt. So they are my 10 picks for Believathon. That doesn't look too bad, especially since they're middle grade. But let's just add the other books from my TBR. Do you know what? Even though this is a pretty hefty pile, I don't think this is too unrealistic. Because if you take out these, they are all middle grade. This is going to be easy because it's a buddy read and I'll be listening to the audiobook mostly. This is a reread, which is a really quick read. This is basically fan fiction, which is really quick for me. And this, I think, is going to be the only one that takes me a bit longer because I don't really know what to expect from it. But the rest of it, all middle grade, this, I'm pretty confident about this. And my plan, I'm going to put this down. And so my plan, which you will find out in my weekly vlogs throughout November if I get to that. My plan is to, if by some miracle I complete all of these, I'm going to pull more cards as I go and see if I can fill all 30 prompts. I genuinely don't think I'll do all 30, but I think there's a strong possibility I'll be able to do more than just this. I'm really hoping so. Because I really want to do as many as possible, because I have so many middle grades that I want to get to, and I have another 4 that I got out of the library. So I got these 2 out of the library along with 4 others, and I especially want to try and get those other 4 on my TBR, and there's bound to be prompts in here that will fit. So gonna get through them and then hopefully be able to pull more prompts, which I will do in vlogs, so you'll see me pull them. I won't just go through and just pick what ones are going to fit a book. I will pull them in vlogs so you can see what I'm picking. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you're going to be taking part in Royal Readathon Fairies edition. Me and Liv are very excited. There's going to be lots of reading sprints that we are going to be hosting, and I will leave the announcement for that down in the description box below, along with our Twitter page, and I will also leave the announcements for both Believathon and LDRathon, just in case you want to take part in either of those as well. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you next time. Bye.